don't know if the Facebook doesn't seem to be streaming live. Try that setup one more time. Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be 10 o'clock here in a second. So I want to start on time and be respectful of everybody else's time. I'm going to make sure everybody can see me okay, see my screen okay. Are we all clear there? Did lose. I lost my. Just going to go ahead and mute everybody. But can everybody see me okay? And everybody seeing the screen?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. There's going to be some people, some Market Center tech trainers helping out. If there's chat going on, supporting those questions, we'll make sure we do everything we can to get everybody's questions answered as we're going through. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to go over this morning. This is being recorded. I know that's always a question that's asked, so we're going ahead. We're going to go ahead and do that for everybody. This is day one of Command launch for your business. I know we've had a series of different trainings, but you know where we are right now and the world that we're dealing with, understanding the platform that's in your control is tremendous value to you, right? And so we want to make sure that we go deep enough into the different components of it that you're able to utilize it and leverage it in your business if you haven't looked at it yet, or maybe you're just giving it another look, or maybe you're just trying to understand it a little bit more. That's really what we want to do here. You know, I was licensed in 2007 when we had our last shift in the business. I was out on the ground in Arizona, where it was hit pretty hard. We and others lost up to 70% value in their business. Now, that was a little bit different than what we're going now, because there was an economic shift. There's a tremendous amount of inventories. There was overbuild. There's a lot of things going on that are slightly different than what we have going on right now in our pandemic, and actually a shortage of inventory. So it'll be interesting to see how a lot of that works out. I understand we're still seeing a whole lot of people showing up for showings and open houses, and that those are strong points for now. So I'd like to see that. However, how we're able to do our business, right, is what's going to radically change how we move ahead. On the ground in Arizona during that time, there was a tremendous amount, like there was here when I moved here in 2012, a whole lot of print advertising. There was a lot of things that were done the old-fashioned way. I remember there was a certain point where I had 10 different transactions going on. I would literally walk around with stacks of folders because I didn't have a dot loop or a DocuSign or a Authentisign or any kind of document storage that I was leveraging. I was doing it all myself. Now here, fast forward to where we are now in 2020, and we've got a lot of automation at our disposal. Some of it used, some of it we don't. I think coming out of this, those of us that really embrace what we have at our disposal and master these tools will radically change how business is done and how we do business from here on out. So to me, I think this is an unbelievable opportunity for all of you. Some of you may know, some of you may not. I am now the regional tech director, tech trainer for all of Virginia, Northern Virginia. I was the Market Center tech ambassador for Falls Church, and I kind of moved up through that. You all have tech ambassadors that you may know in your Market Center. They're now going to be called Market Center tech trainers. So I want to make sure that you all know who they are, that it's a tremendous team of individuals that are accessible to you in your Market Center. If you don't know who that is, ask some questions, find out who they are, because they're there to support you through this entire process, help you train and get up to speed on all things in our new platform. Self-advocacy, I think, is something that's pretty important. A lot of us, you know, would come in to the markets and say, hey, do you got a minute? And there's a lot of ways that you can get caught up and trained on different things that are going on out there. And the easiest for a lot of people was just coming in and tapping someone on the shoulder and say, hey, can you help me out? Now we really need you more than ever to kind of take advantage of the tools from a training standpoint and self-advocate for yourself and help to see what's out there, get support, and then get support from your Market Center tech and tech trainers. We have a lot going on, and we want to support every single one of you, and we want to help you for the areas that you're struggling in. But we do want to make sure that you're taking advantage of what's there at its core, of the training classes, of the recordings, and the different things that are going on, so you can get help and we can have this higher conversation. So I think that's important. We have a regional technology page for the region, and I have that on the screen here. It's the KW Virginia, West Virginia Region Tech Community. Right now, there's about 563 of you that are members. There's 4,000 of us in the region, so I want to make sure that we're getting all of you as much up-to-date information as you can. I understand there's a lot of Facebook platforms that are out there, but this is a place that I think is important for all of you to have access to. All right, so with that, and I'll get off my little soapbox there. I just thought there were some important things to share for you all. Let's go ahead and jump in. There are some things that you all need to make sure that you have to configure Command appropriately for you. One is your headshot, right? There's your contact information, there's a bio, and there's certain places where we're going to make sure that those things are incorporated. Another thing that you also have to have is a Market Center DBA logo. And I just want to show you where those are at so you can download those and utilize those in your business. So if you were actually to go to kwconnect.com, hover over resources, and then go down into marketing, that page will load up and you're going to see a landing page for logos and branding. Go ahead and click on that. You'll see this Access Style Guide. There's a lot of value in the style guide there for you guys, so you should download that. It gives you some clarity around how to use the logo, color schemes, and what you can and can't do with it when it comes to your own personal marketing. At the bottom or the middle of the page, you've got this Premier Properties logo, which essentially is a portal for you guys to type in your Market Center number and download the logos that are available to you through your Market Center. Not every Market Center has some. If you don't have one there, go ahead and take the time to contact your leadership and say, hey, where are our logos? Do we have those? And once those download, you'll have those on your computer. You'll see that there's a couple different folders. I like to use the RGBs, okay? You'll see there's a JPEG, a PNG, and an EPS file. So for those of you that are not sure what those are, a JPEG is one that has the white background. So a lot of times when you see your flyers and you've got your logo on top of a white box, that's a JPEG. The translucent ones that have the logo where you can kind of drop them on top of different images, those are PNG files. Don't worry about the EPS, that's more for web-based building, and you guys won't necessarily need those, but they're there for you if you need them for your websites. You'll see that there's a couple differences. There's a white-based background with the words, and then there's one with our color gray. So just kind of choose the ones that are best for you. Maybe save them to your desktop, because you'll find use for them in loading them up to different parts in your platform and utilizing them in your designs library, which we'll be covering on later next week. So just wanted you to know where that was. If I come back to our console, I'm just going to go ahead and log into mine. Logging in, there we go. All right, so welcome to Command. First thing that I want you guys to do is understand some of the background, what's accessible to you. So when you go on the upper right-hand side, you're gonna see your name. You may not see a photo of that, but you'll see your name. First thing you're gonna see is a profile. It's important to understand that through Command, as realtors, you're gonna have two profiles on this page. One is your agent-to-agent facing profile. Your other is your agent-to-consumer facing profile. This first profile is actually pulling in from the profile that was set up on KW Connect, if you had actually configured that. And this is your agent-to-agent facing profile. The reason it's important to have an agent-to-agent facing profile is that we literally are the largest referral company in the world with 180,000 agents, right? So having this platform in place allows other realtors throughout the company to see you, see who you are, understand where you are, what locations you focus on, what your production may look like if you're in production, right? And what areas of focus you have. So this is tremendously important. You can edit this profile here by clicking on the edit page and updating this information. And this bio that's here, this bio should be talking to your other KW associates, not necessarily the same bio that should go out to the general public. Because you attend Bold, you go to Ignite, you might be a tech ambassador, you might be on leadership or staff or do different things that are in our Keller universe that the general public just isn't quite going to understand nor really care about. So make sure that the bio that's here covers a lot of things Keller-wise that's important in real estate that other agents may understand. Your face-to-face bio, your consumer bio should talk about more about you, your background, where you're from, how do you connect, obviously production if you have any, but not all of us, we're in production, right? Are in production, some of us are new. It's really kind of the great equalizer in real estate is that we all started at the same spot. We all started with 0 transactions sold. So we can really get to anywhere we need to go in real estate because everybody started from the same place. That's really kind of nice about this. So don't worry about what your bio, not focusing too much on production if you don't have any to lean on yet, right? People want to connect with you because of who you are, where you went to school, what your hometown is, what your passions, what you're involved with. There's a lot of commonality out there other than number of transactions you've had. So you can control all that on this page and save changes and update that here. All right, so if we come back on the next one, now I'm going to go to settings. So settings is going to bring you to our applications page. So if you think of Command, the platform, no different than your cell phone, you're able to add applications to this. And Keller is actually integrating a lot of applications for you. Most of you should, if not already, have DocuSign. Your order is going to look different than mine if you don't have everything currently configured. But as you scroll through this page, this is where it will land first. DocuSign will need to be set up. So you will click here, you click configure DocuSign. It'll ask you to connect a DocuSign account. If you're a current user of DocuSign, don't use the same email address. Use your Keller address or a different email address because those two systems, they don't quite talk to each other the exact same way because we use Rooms, which was different than e-signatures. So there's a difference in those two accounts. So I recommend connecting them with a different email. We have 2 Facebook connections that can take place here. We'll talk a little bit more of those when we get into our campaigns class, but I'm gonna just kind of let you know that you want to connect both your personal page and your business page. You'll see that down at the bottom here. Because what happens there is you're going to be able to schedule posts that go across out to your personal page. But if you want to advertise or market listings or business, that has to connect to a Facebook business page. So those are 2 things that need to happen. Porch is a repair estimate platform that plugs in that some agents utilize. It's great. You can send in a repair report and you can get some basic estimates about what repairs might look like and get informed around your sellers when you get a repair request on the hit list. Google Calendar is able to be connected in here. We're going to see more and more of integration with Calendar through the platform, but that you do want to connect to your device. Gmail. Gmail is a really important connection here. And I want you to use your whatever Gmail account that you utilize in your day-to-day business, because what this is going to allow you to do is send emails from your Gmail platform and tie that email communication back to your contact record. So if you've got a client in your database and you have their email address and you email them from Gmail, it's going to sync and marry these 2 up. So you have a timeline that we'll look at in tomorrow's contact class of every communication that you've sent out. When I synced this up originally, it went back years to clients that I had communication with. And that was really nice because it prevents me from having to go through and sort through everything when I'm looking for emails. Twilio. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about Twilio in our Smart Plans conversations that will take place next week. But connecting a Twilio account allows you to text directly from the system. So if you're familiar with something like Google Voice, Twilio is what will allow us to text direct from your database through Smart Plans and engage your consumers and clients or anybody that's new that you're sending messages out to. They'll give you a local 512 number when you connect your account. What you need to do is have a local 703-571 number to wherever you are. So if you set up your KW account, then contact Twilio directly. For $1 a month, you can get a local number, right? And they can swap those out and sync them to your account. PieSync. For those of you that currently have databases or other things in place that you might be utilizing, PieSync is a great integration tool that will allow us to pull data from like Google. Okay, so Google Contacts is a perfect example, or Brivity or other platforms you might be utilizing. Okay, you can go to your PieSync and create an account. I just kind of show you here, I have right now a Google Contacts sync taking place. So anytime I set up something in my phone as a Google contact, those contacts port through automatically to PieSync. Now I can set up that communication one of two ways. I can then automatically just grab that information from my phone and create a contact. Or if I want to be able to update information back and forth and I update a contact record in Command, it'll reverse sync back to Google. Now be careful with how many integrations of different things you set up, because you get your largest integration is free. If you connect multiple platforms, there's a fee for that. So if you got databases in a lot of different areas, you may just want to load things and use one sync. Some of you may use multiple syncs, and that's perfectly okay. The nice thing about Command is that, you know, it's included with what we're doing for $25. These other applications, just like on your phone, there may be a freemium that you can incorporate. And if you want to leverage it more, then that company may charge you an additional service fee. I do not use Office 365, plugging my email. I don't think completely that Outlook is syncing. If somebody out there knows otherwise, my understanding is that it's not completely functioning that way yet. I talked about Facebook, but you have the ability to connect your Twitter and Google AdWords if people are utilizing those as well. I no longer have my .loop connected because I'm not utilizing that in any of my market centers. We're using DocuSign now. But if you are still paying and utilizing .loop, you can connect that for integration as well. eEdge, for those eEdge users, make sure that's not turned off, because that sync through Market Leader was not working the way that we needed it to pull a lot of that data. Setting up Facebook Ads Manager, we talked about that, connecting your business page. MailChimp, there's a lot of associates that are out there utilizing MailChimp for their email portion and control through Command at a high level. So MailChimp was going to be the original partner with KW Command's platform in integration for email. However, they quickly changed what they were willing to do. So KW had to shift into a different direction. That led to the non-reply at kw.com emails that you guys were seeing for a little while. We now have Command email. You want to make sure this is connected. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and show you what this looks like. So you have your sender name. So David Donaldson is what will show up in my sent email to my consumers. Now next to that, it'll say agent. It'll include my KW ID number at kw.com. And I think there's something else in there. I can't think off the top of my head. And if they were to reply to that email, it'll go to any email that I configure here, okay, for them to send and respond back to me. I get 5,000 emails a month, okay, and I can increase that subscription if I need to. You'll see that I've sent 17 of my 5,000. I'm not overly tasking the system right now because I'm not as in much production like some of you are. But you can increase by managing that subscription, right, if you're going to do more. So that's what that will do. At the top here, we have a marketplace. In the marketplace are other platforms that KW is partnering with and integrating with, that they're saying these are companies that will agree to our data pledge that you may want to utilize in your business. Now, I can't go through every single one of these, but there's some cool things in here. There's a Command Essentials class that, while we're providing a lot of training through our market sector tech ambassadors to you, through our regional tech page, obviously through the regional trainings that we're going to have going on the next couple of weeks, here's a rolling course that is put on by KWRI, the Command Essentials, that there's one for the every agent and there's one for teams. This is something you might want to look at. I can't talk to every one of these that are in here. They're adding more and more all the time. I talked about the ability to add more emails. So that is in here. That's your Command email right here. You see there's more syncs and integrations. That's coming soon. So we'll see that. Market Leader Professionals in here. You see what they charge. Contract to close is in here. So that's where .loop, Porch I kind of talked about. That's a free integration. So go in here and take some time. Take a look at the other things that are out there. You may be surprised at what other companies are currently plugging in to our systems. All right, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to minimize that. So I want to just see here right now. I'm going to kind of open up the chat room and see if there's any particular questions that haven't been addressed or Okay, so I'm not seeing a whole lot in here right now, so very good. Marketplace, so it's where you find DocuSign. Now, DocuSign should default right to this page as the ability to be connected right on your applications. Should happen right here for you. If it's not, contact your market center tech trainer or leadership to kind of walk you through that connection. All right, so there's a couple other things that you see down here on the left-hand side, right? So there's a lot that is starting to show up behind here. So you've got contacts. We're going to talk more about contacts, the ability to create custom tags and fields. When you archive contacts, right, they'll show up in here because it's a two-step process. When you archive somebody, they'll populate behind here. Then you need to actually delete them completely so that you don't make a mistake. You can wipe out your database and start over. Be careful if you're going to do that. Archiving opportunities, if you've done some test opportunities, they're hidden back here. Agent site pages, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Import logs, for those of you that were importing using the import sheet, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well. You'll be able to track any of those import logs that come into your database. They're all there for you as well. Your marketing profile, this is where I wanted to go next. On the left-hand side, marketing profile. So everything that we do through command that starts heading out to our consumers, our websites, our mobile app, our emails, our market snaps, anything that's got our likeness, our image, our contact information is pulling from this marketing profile page. So there's a Kelly guide, and Kelly guide is something that you guys will get familiar with because we utilize them a lot as we roll out different pieces of the platform. So you can, at a high level, fill in a lot of this information. You see your photo is required, right? It gives you some pixelized cells. You can upload that. They're starting to resize. You can upload your team logo, or maybe some of you aren't on a team, but maybe you have a business logo. Maybe it's your initials. That's not a recognized team in the eyes of the industry and with that you have on file, but maybe it's a really nice, cool logo that you guys have created for you. Maybe it's your initials. So that can be utilized here. Details, name, your professional job. You're a realtor. I know this is wordy. I like to be fancy sometimes. I'm a real estate consultant. Designs and credentials. I have a couple. I have a GRI. I have a CNE. There's specific purposes for people to get designations. There are some people that get a truckload of them. I take courses that I find value in. And if there happens to be a designation associated with it, so be it. I don't chase designations. GRI is a Graduate Realtor Institute. It's been around a really long time. I got that when I was new to the business in Arizona. I took my post-licensing through them because I knew a couple of the trainers, and I thought the training that I was going to get through that was a little bit higher than just some of the online webinars that I wanted to have as a base agent. So I took that class. CNE, which is called the Certified Negotiation Expert. Actually, we started with a company in Arizona. I got it because it was free way back when, 07. And honestly, it was one of the best classes I ever took. And I feel like I've said this a bunch and I haven't kind of followed through, but I would love to bring it to the region. I think we once did it when I was in Ashburn. They now have like 3 levels to that class. So if there's any market center leadership on this call, this might be something worth looking into and bringing this to the region. It's really a great class. At least I felt it was when I took it. So again, I know there's military, there's SRS, there's green. If you have them, great. If you enjoy them, go get them. There's value in them, but don't worry about if you have them, if you don't have them, okay? Here's your personal bio. This is your agent to consumer bio, really important. This is how you're gonna connect with people, right? This is their initial foray. And this bio will be on a lot of platforms that you share, right? All the different free places that you can get your name and recognition out there that allows you to put a bio. This is what you should have. Now, when you write a bio, okay, I teach this and I talk to 3 steps. You've got your long form bio, which kind of could be a hybrid of where you took your resume and then you bring this back down and you give a summary. And it can be 4 to 6 paragraphs. I don't know. Depends on how much you want to share. That full length should be able to be truncated down into 1 paragraph because you may be limited on some platforms as to how much of a bio you can share, right? So that first paragraph should tell you the story of everything else I'm going to read about you in a summary, which takes some skill. Then that initial paragraph should be able to be taken down to, roughly 150 characters, things that I can put out onto a mobile platform that shows up. And it might just say, dad, chef, golf, realtor. trainer, something like that. Just kind of summarizes me real quick in a very, very short format that I can take across and utilize on an app platform. So kind of give that some thought as you're building out your bio, what that might look like for you. You'll see things are asterisked in red that you have to have, right? So you have to have your brokerage here. You're going to have your brokerage logo if you have one. Again, I mentioned not every market center has one. If you don't, on that download page, you can just download a KW logo and utilize that for now. Put in the brokerage information. Compliance, this is what we need for all of you in the region. Each office is independently owned and operated. We don't use digital link footers. We don't need that right now. You can incorporate your social media platforms here, okay? YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I know there's others that are coming down, but this is what's available to us right now. If you want to track pixels for Facebook or Google Analytics tracking, and basically it comes down to this, if you know what those are, then you're gonna have those and you can plug those in. If you don't know what those are, okay, those are platforms that you can utilize to track advertising and marketing that you're doing. You can set these up. We'll find a time to talk that's a little bit more advanced about those, but I think that's important. Your branded app and mobile link. If you're real estate mobile, you might have that too. Your mobile link will go here. Question is, where do you get that from? That's a good question. So we'll talk about that in some upcoming classes about how to get that information. But you can get that from your phone. And if you've currently configured your website and your mobile app, on the left-hand side, you've got consumer. And you've got site app settings. And then in the middle of the screen, you have a URL. I'll give that a second to refresh. Right here is your app URL. So that's where you can grab that from. If you're going to use text to app, and we'll talk more in the app class, this can be grabbed here as well. Anyways, if it doesn't allow you to get this page because it says you have to set up a website, that's the first thing it's going to talk to you about. We have a website class that's up and coming as well. All right, so I'm going to come back to settings here. All right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and open up the Kelly guide just so you see what that looks like, so you can add more information here. If you click Get Started, now I know I went fast. I went to Settings, and I went back to the command settings for your marketing profile. If you go ahead and start walking through the Kelly guide, it'll get more information from you and start to lay out for you what things might look like in an online presence as you're advertising different things. You'll upload your team logo here. You've got to have your name, your team, your domain name for your website. So it's either a vanity domain that you've purchased through a company like GoDaddy, or it's your consumer your consumer website name that you've built, which is typically yourname.kw.com, which you can also grab from that consumer page that I just took that at your agent site. We'll get a little bit more into that when we do the website class. As we're just walking through here, we're hitting next. Uploading your personal photo, you see that, your DBA photo, that's there, your license information, your brokerage information, office phone, that's a default, your email, market center, your bio. A lot of this information, if you did the home screen things that I showed you, will pull into here automatically. So that will be there for you. Again, the social media pages are built in there, so you can sync those up. Your legal footer, okay. Configure your accounts. You want to make sure your email is configured, right? Continue. If I want to configure my Twilio account, it'll give me the ability to do that. It's going to land on smart plans. We're going to have a smart plans class, but if you come to this page, I just want you to know what you're looking at. These are all the current smart plans that are currently available through KW, okay? And you're going to see that this continues to be added on and build on. I can click on any one of these. Like here's a quarterly call pass. So what does that look like? So I make a phone call, it pauses, and then it reminds me in 90 days to make another phone call. So you'll be able to, your monthly neighborhood nurture, which is probably the most important one that I think we all have at our disposal. You'll see it sends an email, it waits 30 days, it sends it again. There's also a bi-monthly version of that. There it is. The reason this one says my copy is that as you start to claim some of these for your own personal use, you're taking them out of the master library. You're renaming them for yourself. You will have the ability to edit them if you so choose without editing the master copy. So that's why you're seeing a couple other ones here on this page that you may not see on your screen because I have created some of my own. So we're going to have a class around that too. And then right from here, I can add people to any one of these platforms. But we'll have a smart planning class coming up next week. All right, continue. Now what's next? I'm just going to close this and come right back out to my home screen. I want to show you one other thing that is important through that page. I'm going to go back to settings. Okay, connect settings is where that marketing profile was. See, there's a button here. Use this information to brand to my agent site. This has to be turned on to push that information, like it says, to your branded agent site. That means your website and your app site. So if you've got your app in hand, or if you've got your website and you're not seeing your information, your headshot, your logo, your contact information, you need to go back and make sure this switch is toggled on. Okay, with all of that configured now, okay, some of these things you won't see market center settings, that's just for leadership. Global settings, you won't need to worry about that. If you're a team leader, you'll see some command settings around your teams. I'm not a rainmaker for teams, so I don't have access to those things right now. We will have some team trainings that I'll utilize through my demo account as we get further into this platform and different things that we're going on, but we'll talk about configuring the teams as well as we get a little bit more into this. A couple of things that you're looking at across the top. I showed you the marketplace. This little bell here at the top notifies me if I have people engaging with me. You'll see that I had somebody download my mobile app that I shared with them. It's because that's going to notify me that. This will push through to Kelly. So if you've downloaded your Kelly app, okay, this will push it across that you have a new contact or a new integration or somebody's reaching out to you. This will notify you through there as well. On the right-hand side, I'm just going to come to the complete home screen now that we've done all the setup pieces. Let's go to chat here real quick. Let's see if there's any specific questions that, okay. I just want to, if I port my Google voice number to use as my Twilio number, no, Twilio and Google are two different things. Twilio's directly for texting. You can't utilize your Google voice number inside of the SMS platform. Yeah, so this will be recorded and I'll share this out with everybody later. Absolutely. Okay. So I want to show you a couple things around the home screen. So I talked about being an advocate for yourself or being involved in utilizing things. In the upper right hand side, you've got a question mark. And what I love about this is that if you click on this and I click on Keller Williams University, it'll know where I am inside of Command. Okay, and start to bring up fact pages or training pages that I need to access, or I can search for a topic. You know, how to complete your KW Connect profile, how to complete your marketing profile. And I can click on that, and there are step-by-step tutorials, just like I walked you guys through. Right, so I know the video is going to be there for you, but there are other ways for you guys to get that information. So I just want you to know that the support that we have built into this platform is unbelievable, right? And I can even sort by different sections to filter down maybe different things I may or may not know that I'm looking for. So this is accessible to you. I'll go ahead and close it. Chat with support. So if I click on chat with support, let's open that up. It's dropping out on me. Okay, maybe that's turned off at the moment. I know a lot of KWI has been sent home, so maybe that's just deactivated at the moment. But if you were to chat with support, okay, you'll be able to live chat with somebody. Now, I know there have been some longer wait times right now. Now, understand peak hours of the day, there's going to be an increased amount of people, and we could never staff it well enough to get to everything. But here's what I need you all to know and understand a little bit. A lot, and don't take it as personally, a lot of the questions that are taking place through support are how-to questions, right? That's where we're hoping some of these videos and your in-house or market center tech trainers can help you out with. A lot of it is how-tos, not necessarily this is broken type of stuff. And what chat has to do in this situation, they have to respond to everybody. Even though they don't get to you, you have the ability to provide, say, contact me back, and they create a ticket and they have to follow up with something. So I want you guys, first and foremost, if possible, talk to people in-house, see if it's a user issue or if it actually is something that needs to be supported, provided a ticket to it. So kind of take those steps to kind of troubleshoot and self-advocate for yourself through some of these different portals that I'm showing you to get information. If it's truly an issue, then go ahead, provide a ticket and reach out to your market center tech trainer, okay? Because they have the tools to help you troubleshoot and get through a lot of the things. If it's truly something that needs to be escalated, they know how to get that information up the ladder and be addressed. The other thing that I love is posting ideas. So we always talk about this being a platform for agents built by agents. Well, what does that mean? That means you guys all have the ability to provide input in what you want to see the platform do or do better or change, right? So you can literally type an idea in here. You can post an idea, or you can go to ideas.kw.com. It should recognize you by signing in. If you go to ideas.kw.com, you can sort and search. Look at all of these things, thousands of ideas, okay? And you'll see ideas that are at the top of the chain, right? Obviously, number of contacts is something we've been talking about for a while, and they're working on that. And you can see things are needs review, under review, in development. If you have an idea, there's a good chance that it may have already been suggested. So you can search by a topic, you can search by category, and see if what you're looking for may have already been asked for, and support it, vote it up, ask others to vote it up, right? Here's some other helpful hints that are on this page. I don't think enough people know that this is available to them. A lot of people say, hey, and I know this because they go out to the different Facebook groups that are out there and say, hey, can it do this? I'd like it to do this. And we all agree because Gary's come out and said, if you wanted to do it, there's a good chance we could probably make that happen. It's just a matter of when. So if you come here and vote out those ideas and support each other, okay, I think it's a great way because they're going to look at this and understand what our real hot buttons are and find a way to incorporate them sooner than later to kind of take away some of the pain thresholds that some of you might be experiencing for enhancements to the platform. Go ahead and close some of these windows. I have a tendency to jump around. All right, so that is posting an idea. That is setting up support. Let's look at our dashboard here. We see tasks and things that I have to do. I've got some quarterly call plans that are popping up because I have those smart plans configured. So I have tasks that need to be done. I can also add a task if I need to add something that I need to do. I can create a custom task. I've got my recent leads over here, right? These little check boxes next to leads meant that they downloaded and utilized either my website or my mobile app. That's what those checks means. That means they have integrated and are working with the platform outside of me just giving it information. They've been on my website, or they've been on my mobile app, and now it's telling me that I have that access. I can create a notepad, right? So I can add things that are things that we just need to make notes from us. Train tomorrow on contacts. These are just notes, so these don't create tasks or anything like this, but just things I can make a note on. And that's on my dashboard. Got my database health score. It's looking a lot better than it was a couple of weeks ago because I've done some clean out, had a lot of test information in here. We're going to talk about this a little bit more detail tomorrow, but this is what's on your home screen. This is what this is, right? Your database health score is a little bit different than your contact health score, although there's a tremendous amount of overlap. So I'm at about 60%, almost. So I'm almost to my goal of 60, my standard of 60. I'm looking for a goal of 80. So I'm working on that. We'll talk in more detail tomorrow. Design of ideas. So you're going to see some default information pushing through to you as new designs come into play that you can see, or maybe as a feature design that an agent created that you can utilize. We'll talk more about designs, but how do your layout, your screen looks different than mine. I can assure you that. At the top on the right-hand side, you've got to customize your home page. Oop, let me click on that again. So you could change the layout. I can move things around by drag and drop, all right? Maybe I want notes at the top. leads at the bottom, which I wouldn't, but I'm just showing you. And then on the left-hand side, I can check on other things to add to my home screen. So there will be additional widgets that you'll be able to lay out, and they're adding more and more to your home screen. Maybe there's custom report features that you'll want to have. At some point then you'll have those things. So I'm just going ahead and if I just click apply, however I just made those changes instantly. See, so my layout is completely changed around. My leads went to more of a full screen approach. I like the way I had it before, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that back. There we go. But very cool ways to customize your experience. What you're going to find a lot of the time as you were working through this platform is the customization. You know, that's a really, really important thing to understand, is that how you look at contacts, how you look at your database, what type of information you're storing, what data you're collecting, that's open to you a lot of times, right? What you're sharing, what you're creating, custom smart plans, custom landing pages, custom website pages. There's really no limit to what you can do. And that's what's making our platform so special. Fundamentally, it does some of the similar things that other platforms do, but on a whole nother level, the customization doesn't compare to what we have above everybody else. So any questions on this home screen, the layout, what you're seeing, how to control any of that? Let's take a peek in the chat room. What's the address again? The address to access your command site is agent.kw.com. Agent.kw.com. And actually, if you actually were even on your MyKW, okay, let's see if I'm actually seeing here. If you're on your MyKW homepage, you can actually access it from here as well. Just to show you, there's a couple different ways to get to that screen, your landing page screen for login. Under technology, there's a command button right here, so you can access it that way. But I just bookmark agent.kw.com. That's the quickest way to get to this page. Okay, layouts, setup, home screen. We're about 45 minutes in, which is kind of what I wanted to kind of lead you guys through. A lot of this information that was here. You do see a connect button here. Now, what I will tell you, if you want to go to KW Connect, I still find it best to go to kwconnect.com. Okay, the command link for Connect here isn't completely done and built out yet. So I know there's some confusion. People are like, oh, I can just go to command here. You'll see some things here. I'm not fully utilizing it. It's not giving me everything that I want to integrate with yet. It's getting better. It's more of a form page. I still go to KW Connect specifically. So I like to do this. I want to show you a couple things from KW Connect that I think it's important to know from a basic setup standpoint. I showed you the marketing pages. Here's where Connect Live is. A lot of you don't know that twice a day, obviously this week, every day, we're showing different Thrive in the Moment market every half hour on the hour. So if you were to click on any of these, it'll take you to a training event. If I actually click on Watch Now, it'll open up and show me the events for the whole day. And then I can see next week, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Also, you can watch on demand. So if I go to Connect Live on demand, I can go watch previously recorded classes, right? We know that there was a conversation with Gary took place. We pivot into action. And this kind of goes by order of most recent that was loaded. So you can kind of come through here and see what was missed. A lot of the training classes that we do at the Market Center level are also done at the KWI level. And you can watch those. Those are recorded and shared. You could search for an associate in here. Like, so if you wanted to look me up, and let's look for David as a user, search. So you can search for an agent's profile page. And you can follow that person. So basically, anytime I do a training and I record it and I upload it here inside of Command and you're following me, you'll get a notification that I uploaded a new video. So that's available to you. And this, this is that agent to agent profile that I showed you. That's right here. There's a whole bunch of information in here. A couple of the other real important ones is command your business, right? So there are step through fact pages, tutorials that are built right into command through KWU has added a lot of these things. Recommended trainings that are chunked out, smaller pieces, step by step, some with video, by different categories. Command your transaction, command your experience, command your marketing, a lot of things that we're doing, but here's things that are KW laying out this information. There's the information about being a tech-enabled agent. Again, what do I do when I'm ready to use command? How do I set up my app? Just another great area to go get additional information and videos and training. I think they've done an amazing job trying to work for everybody. Some people like these 1 hour classes. Some people want smaller, chunked out, give me 3 minutes at a time. Those are available for you too. So those can be accessed through here. So you can go into any of these, check out a lot of different things for your new associates. Welcome new associates, that's here. Kind of lays out some things. Now, on a market center level, we do a lot of setup for you. We're going to be helping you with technology onboarding that the market centers do. There's a lot of training that takes place on office calendars that should cover a lot of these things. But if you're missing anything, you can always come back to resources, welcome new associates, check some of this information out. Look at the command your business. Look at these different links. See where it jumps around and takes you to. It may stoke you to ask more questions of your leadership about things that are going on, or the right classes to go to, or just, again, how to be an advocate for yourself. Navigating some of this. None of this is hard. Command's not hard. Setting up's not hard. However, it's overwhelming and it's a lot. So it's really the process of knowing where to find information that I think us as leaders and trainers really kind of have to support you guys, is us knowing it inside and out, and knowing it for you, where to gain access to all of this. That is some of the most important information I think you guys can get out of all the classes that we train, is how to, where to, not necessarily the doing it. I'm going to tell you right now, you guys are all capable, much more competent than you guys give yourself credit for. If I had $1 for every time I had a new associate join and come on one of my classes and says, hey, you know what, I'm going to be the most challenging associate you've ever had, I'd be loaded. I'd be well off. However, it's mindset. We talk about mindset from Bold. Mindset is everything. You all can do this. It's a lot. Do it in bite-sized pieces. Get organized. Move together strategically about incorporating this into business. Now's as good a time as any, right? You've got a lot of time at your hands. You've got to be smart. You've got to lead generate. That's the most important thing. Technology is not a leverage. This doesn't replace the phone calls, the face-to-face, the one-on-one through Zoom that your Zoom coffees that you're gonna start having with people, right? Speaking of which, haven't had coffee and stuff talking in 45 minutes. This is for my buddy John Walker, having coffee. Those are things that you can have. Building out your platform, looking at how you're communicating with people. This will enhance that experience for you and get you super organized. All right, coming up on 10:47, I wanted to keep this at 1 hour. The half hour by half hour trainings from KWRI that I kind of flashed through you guys and put the link on the Facebook page is starting at 11. So I don't know if everybody's going to jump to that, but I'm sensitive to that. Why don't we now, I've handled most of the basic setup functions that I wanted to get across to you guys. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we're going to get into the database. We're going to talk about loading the database. We're going to talk about customizing the database. We're going to talk about accessing people and what does that look like. So we're going to go a deep dive like we did today on setup. We're going to do that tomorrow into contacts. So I hope you all are able to continue with us on this journey. So I'm going to go into the chat room now. Okay. All right. Okay, so how do we follow me? So I hope I just answered that. So again, from KW Connect, you can search for me through this little hourglass, type my name in here, David Donaldson, search by user. And then when you land on my page, you can go ahead. It won't show me to follow because I've already on myself, but you can go ahead and then click on and follow me there. Oops, sorry, wrong button. All right, the floor is yours, guys. What questions do you have? If you don't want to type, I don't mind. You can go ahead. If you would unmute yourself one at a time. If you want to ask me a specific question, you can go ahead and do that. Let's just not open everybody at the same time because that's where all that background noise comes in. Sure, I will send the link out for, so when I post this link, it's going to go to the Facebook page. I don't have the ability to mass email everybody in the entire region. So I will post these links at the KW Virginia, West Virginia Region Tech page. Your leadership will have these links. They can share with them. Your market center tech trainers will have these links. They can share these with you. I just want to show you that I will post them on this page. I do encourage you to join this page. And I will also have the link for tomorrow's class through all those chains, 10 o'clock every day. 10 a.m. every day for the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing these classes. Friday, there's a bigger thing going on, so I'll get information up about that. But tomorrow, today was set up, tomorrow's contacts, and then be rolling back off again on Monday at 10 a.m. I'm going to post and working with the Market Center tech trainers throughout the region to build a more complete calendar of events for these trainings. We were really trying to react to on the fly with everything that was going on, and we pulled this together on Tuesday, but I'll kind of give you a quick summary of what's going to happen. So today was basic setup. Tomorrow is contacts. Next week, we're going to get into website and app. We're going to get into smart plans. We're going to get into campaigns. We're going to dive deep in every applet through the platform. Originally, I was doing these sessions and they were being recorded. They were Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. We were doing that once a week. Due to our current environment that we're in right now, we pulled the plug on the once a week trainings and we're now doing them daily. Just under our current circumstances, we wanted to make sure everybody had access to trainings, didn't have to go finding things. I thought this was the best way to allow us all to start all over again. I'm going to post the link for tomorrow right in this the Virginia Tech page. Actually, I'll be honest with you, the link's going to be the same. The link for today's class is going to be the same for every class going forward at 10 o'clock. So if you bookmark this Zoom link, it's going to be the same. If there's anything that you feel that I didn't go into depth enough, or if you need additional support, please feel free to reach out to your Market Center tech trainers. Feel free to chime in on the KW Virginia, West Virginia Region Tech Community page. We'll all be supporting each other from there, agent to agent, trainer to agent. We'll do our best to answer anything that we can for you guys. We'll be sharing other resources through that platform.
David?
Yes.
Just to clarify, when you say daily at 10 a.m., you mean Monday through Friday? You're taking
Yes.
weekends off? Okay, very good.
Yeah. Yes, I will be taking the weekends off. And it won't always be me. There'll be other Market Center tech trainers getting involved and providing classes as well. So you may see other people that you know teaching some of these classes. A link for the 11 a.m. training. I do have that on the page, and it's also right here inside of Command. And if I can grab that, I'm sorry, Connect. So if you go to kwconnect.com, okay, and you go to, at the top, you actually got this Watch Now link. I'll just go ahead and grab that and paste that into the chat room for you guys. That's for the 11 o'clock half hour by half hour sessions that you guys might be interested in. 10 a.m. Eastern. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. 11 o'clock is KWRI. I didn't want to interfere with that too much. So we're doing ours at 10 a.m. Eastern. This is our regional training. All right. All right, everybody. I'm going to hang on for a couple more minutes. I'm not going to drop. I'm going to hang on there. There's still 30 of you online, but there's nothing else that I'm going to add specifically, unless just to answer questions for you. Oh, you know what? I put that link and I responded to just, hold on. I put this link out there. I wanted it to be for everybody. Sometimes when I'm in chat, I didn't realize I was not sharing with all. So let me post this here for you all. That's the link. Why? Come on now. All right, there we go. I wanted to make sure I share that with everybody. That's the direct link to pivot and shifting ahead. That's a tremendous platform. They're pulling top agents from all across the country, talking about specific topics, kind of a lot like family reunion breakouts. They'll be talking about their business, how to shift their business, how to utilize technology in their business. All kinds of things will be going on. I think there's great value for all of you in that. All right, we're starting to grow a little silent. People are starting to drop off, and that's okay. I hope you got what you needed. You know, it's interesting. I will tell you that it's near impossible as a trainer now to be up to date on everything inside of Command because we're learning each day. They are releasing things at a rapid pace that nearly every time I log in, I see something new, and that's amazing to me. Just amazing. You know, they do what's called 24/7 follow the sun technology development. So that means there's somebody in some part in some different time zone working on Command throughout the day. They've got different product development heads overseeing each of the different applets that are built in the Command and testing and building each and every day 24/7. Follow the sun. It's pretty awesome. Okay, how do I check and see if my website is feeding my Kelly app? So if you're logging into your website and you've created yourself as a consumer, okay, then you should, anytime you connect and do something, you should see a little notification here, okay? And that should also be pushing through to Kelly. Now, Kelly, on your phone, if you log in, you should see notifications. Make sure your settings inside of Kelly or inside of your phone are turned on to push notifications. Maybe look at incorporating screencasting some of the Kelly stuff as we go through. Just so you know, Kelly's actually going through a rebuild, and she's actually going to be rebranded as Command Mobile. Right now, if you're in Kelly, you can actually go to Command and open up a live desktop version of this. It's is mobile responsive to a degree, but it's not fully mobile. So that will be rebranded as Command Mobile. I don't know when yet. However, Kelly is concerned, she will still continue to be artificial intelligence on the back end. So like we've got Alexa or Hey Google or Siri, Kelly's still going to be our voice and our artificial intelligence in the back end. We're just going to give her a refresh and a rebrand called Command Mobile.
I just got here. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Oh, okay. 642 pops.
That's awesome, dude.
Somebody just turned their mic on. Art, did you have a question?
No, I'm good at the moment.
Oh, okay.
That Command Mobile, do you know when's that? When are they expecting to release that?
I don't have an ETA on that.
Yeah.
They've been talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're cautious, understandably so, about providing timelines to when
Yeah.
things will go, because when they don't meet them for whatever reason, people get upset.
Yeah.
Which, you know, to a degree, it's understandable, but a little bit unreasonable. So they're very sensitive to saying, hey, we're going to drop things on a certain date. they have their big events where they try to release their big branded things like Family Reunion or Mega Camp. So obviously the most exciting things will happen around those. Those are always the dates they try to shoot for.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I wish they could just say like third quarter or fourth quarter. We're hoping. I get why they can't nail it exactly, but
well, and
it would be
if you
nice.
look at when they first announced the mobile app, they had to keep moving that down the street.
Oh yeah, right.
And I was interesting because they had said before that they weren't going to stick to timelines anymore, and then they did that for that. And I think they just realized that they have to be real careful on what applets they launch, when they launch them, because some things just can't have issues, right? Even that one, they dropped it, which a lot of people got upset about. Hey, there were certain bugs when it dropped, saying, "Hey, why wasn't this beta tested?" Well, of course it was beta tested. It was beta tested a lot. But until you drop things for 180,000 people, you don't know what's truly going to happen. But let's look at how responsive they were when they needed to make the changes that they got. They dropped 3 app updates within a week's time.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've been at this a long time. I've seen. I remember when they brought. I remember when inventory went on websites, and that was considered a big deal at the time. Considering everything I've seen through the years, I think this has been really smooth.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, listen, it's 11 o'clock. I got to drop. I got to go to my next call. So I appreciate you guys all joining me for the last hour. And I'll get that link up as soon as I convert this over. I'll post that to the KW page, and we'll get that out to the region as well. But I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. for contacts. Take care, everybody.